part of those people who say, we can give you code, but you can't go and write PhD thesis about it, because the code that we give you is free and you can't exchange it to your professor that it's yours. But you can apply it to your business solutions, be it in finance, be it in retail, be it anywhere else, but just not for So some of the Intel technologies that we have are Intel Atom, which are embedded inside cameras. UCT doesn't have cameras, but there's one here. That camera, I think it's done by Movidius. So Movidius embeds a Movidius system. So they attach this to a board. And then they case it into that, and then becomes a camera. Some of you did electrical engineering, you might understand that. So instead of using a Raspberry Pi, you can use an Atom board. It usually comes in the Intel series that they have. And then there's what we call network recording. Typically you have your PVRs at home, it's PVRs, so it's a digital video recorder. A network video recorder can record data from a camera without using wires. So like IP cameras, some of the technologies that Intel can help you build. And all of this is just the hardware that you need, but you can get the software from us, from OpenView, completely free. If you want to, if you think that maybe you don't have the best processing power, or you don't have enough money to buy Atom or Core i7, you can always go to cloud services like Amazon Web Services, or you can go to Microsoft Azure. They have, Microsoft Azure has 31 days free, where they can give you access to a supercomputer you can play around with and prototype your device or your camera system. Or you could go to AWS. Fortunately, AWS are a very nice developer community. They give you 12 months free access to an EC2 machine, which you could use to prototype many deep learning applications. So, deep learning, by show of hands, who understands deep learning? Who has heard of deep learning? So, deep learning is a little bit more complicated. But guys, don't ever be scared of things that they say are complicated. Since we are open, we give you software for free. Have you heard of the term called maximum code reusability? The show of hands, who's heard of maximum code reusability? Okay, so maximum code reusability is you don't need to write the same piece of code if you already have the code. You could just call it in a different application. So as part of the open source community, we've written a lot of code that's free that you could just take and call and apply to your own applications depending on what you would like to make, what kind of device you want. If I was you, I would be very happy that I can code for free because coding doesn't okay. Okay, so deep learning has come a long way. Back in 2010, it was very poor because some guys had not hacked what we call a GPU. A GPU is a graphics processing unit which accelerates matrix calculations. 3D objects are matrix X, Y, Z. So GPUs were now taken in 2010 by a young man in a competition on a training set. And he took the data and he ran the calculations instead of on the CPU, he ran it on the GPU because the GPU is faster with matrix calculation. And since that happened in 2013, it started going down. Today where we are, the accuracy of deep learning is way much better than a person, although we are still not at 0% error. But we are way much better than we were in 2010. So you can see in just 8 years what has happened. And it's all because of GPU technologies and matrix calculations that are being done for us. So you can just take the source code and apply it to your application. Okay? So when we talk about deep learning, basically you take a set of pictures. When we're talking about computer vision, you're taking a set of pictures. It could be a picture of a butter or a dog or a cat, and you want to recognize cats, but I don't like that. I would maybe want to recognize somebody stealing something from my room. I want to know who came into my room and stole my plate or my phone. So I wanted to take people. So I'll take pictures of people and say, this is a person. So I typically take something more than 30, which is the law of large numbers, which the data set needs to be more than 30. So you take a set of pictures, 30 of them, and then you train them. You extract certain features from it and say this is a person. Like eyes, nose. And these 10 pictures of, if I take 10 people's pictures here, there's similarities, although you're not the same, but you all have eyes, you all have ears, you all have noses, you all have those kind of things. And those are features that are extracted. And then you train what we call a neural network, which looks complicated, but space holistic classification. And then what you can now do is that you can use this model to test using a different picture and say, is this a person? And this guy was just testing a bicycle. But you can take a person and test with a picture of the person and say, is this a person? And then it will say yes, if your model was trained correct, or if it extracted correct feature. So that's GPA. But inference is when you want to predict. When you want to predict certain things. Let's say I wanted to take who's not a human being in here. It might be difficult, but I'm sure my friend Tamo, the software innovator, he can detect anything that's that he can do. So inference is what we typically are going to focus on, and it's part of the Intel Movidius. Movidius is used at the edge, so you don't need internet for this to work, and you don't need cloud resources, you don't need a supercomputer, or you just need a system and connect it to your board and it works. So this is part of inference. You can't use the Movidius for training. It doesn't work for training. Training is done on GPUs and CPUs. But inference is done on Movidius. So, I don't like training. I'm a software innovator as well as student ambassador, but I don't like taking data sets and training. I don't have the best computer, or I don't like going to online. But I can take somebody else's open source model and optimize it for Movidius, which the other person hasn't done because he doesn't know Movidius is pretty new. So you can take his model and you can do inference using Movidius, and as part of that, the whole world is